Now this slide, some people look at this and they think I'm being very biased towards one bank or the other type of bank, but really this is a fact slide. I want you to look at the facts, and this is very interesting. Okay, so with a family bank or a private bank or related, it's a pay-for-service bank. They will bank about 98% of the samples that come in through the door. There's usually a volume restriction, but generally, because someone's paying for it, an individual, a family saying, I'm going to fork out the money, they will bank it for you. The public bank will bank about half those samples. So this is important because a lot of people feel if they put their sample in a public bank, they want it to be there for somebody. Okay? The reason they only do 50% because it's cost, it's expensive. They will look at the sample. If they have a lot of HLA types of that one sample and another one comes in the door, they won't spend the money to bank it. If it's a rare HLA type, they will definitely bank it. So it's about 50%. Ownership. With a family bank, it's owned by the family. So if I have my kid's sample banked and someone out there is a match and they need it, there's no way of them ever knowing because it's not HLA typed, it's not put into a public database. It's owned by the family for that family use only. It's very restricted. A public bank is basically, it's in there, it's for anybody who needs it. Okay? Even if you develop cancer yourself, years later, there's a possibility, although it's pretty slim, that you can go back and your cord may still be there. But the idea is that someone will have used it, but there'll be another matched cord in there for you. There is a cost. Again, it all boils down to money sometimes. Its upfront cost about $1,500. That's what families pay. And then it's $125, $150 a year to store that sample. With the donor bank, there is no cost. It's free. You want to donate it to a donor bank, off it goes. It's stored. On the other side of it, when I need my cord blood or my kid's cord for something, and I put it in a family bank, I may have to pay a courier fee to get it from the bank to the hospital. Okay? But in the public bank, in the New York blood system, for example, they have to pay their staff. They have to pay for equipment. The way they recover their costs is they charge between $25,000 and $30,000 for a release sample. So sick kids that received 30 samples from New York put out about $1 million to basically buy cord blood. So there is a cost to somebody somewhere, and you need to keep this in mind. For private banks, where a courier goes, if you have a courier who will come to your hospital, wherever that is, and they can get it to the bank within 24, 48 hours, it's doable. With the donor banks, and to be honest, I'm not sure why they're structured this way, but for example, there is a public bank in Quebec. There are, I think it's only 2 or 3 hospitals. You have to deliver at those hospitals in Montreal in order to donate your sample. So if you are in Toronto and you're delivering at Mount Sinai and you want to donate to a public bank, you can't donate to the public bank in Quebec. Okay? So there are limitations, and it's the same in New York. The way the Americans get around this, Houston, for example, has 2 public banks within the city of Houston itself, and this is because they're trying to make it more accessible.